So Turf is on pump fun. I'm not using any filters, as you can see. There is some people that use filters like 5-minute volume, 5-minute price change, token age on about to graduate to get rid of some of the fluff here. Even I don't really even do that because I just like to go in raw into pump fun. I'm looking at new pairs, and what am I looking for? Well, for one, if you look at new pairs all the time, the first thing that you should ask yourself is, what should I not be buying? And the greatest way to do that is experience. Now, you'll start noticing that a lot of these coins have been done before. In fact, quite a few of the coins you see every day are simply just duplicates from another day or from another moment. Now, sometimes these duplicates occur because the moment in time that made them popular has resurfaced, whether it's a new tweet, whether it's coming out on a new YouTube video or whatever. Sometimes those old coins can get a little bit of volume in a new coin if it's dropped at the right time. But for the most part, you do want to stick away from stuff that has been done before. Now, you're only going to know what's been done before off the top of your head quickly from being here all the time, which always you can look at something and be like, oh, what's KS7? Has KS7 been done before? And you look it up and you notice that it has been. Now then you can see, is it the same coin based on the same narrative? Neither of these have links, so it wouldn't be very easy for me to tell. They're on different pictures, so I'm gonna assume they're different. Now, you know what to buy by looking at what the narrative is for the week and what has been sending previously. Now, for the last week or so, there's been a couple different narratives that have taken off. Obviously, the Trump coin took off, and there was a lot of politic narratives that taken off. There was some AI stuff that happened, and that took off. There was BlackRock meta, and that took off. I think DeepSeek has been the newest meta. There's been a bunch of DeepSeek, and paying attention to what these metas are going to be extremely crucial for you even being able to identify what's good in the first place, right? If you don't know what's good in the past, how are you going to know what's good in the future? You're not. So start digging deep into what's been good today, what's been good yesterday. There's a great way you can do this. The first step to doing this is to go to Memecoins on Twitter. I highly recommend you follow this guy and start taking a look at some of his daily meme coin recaps. For instance, I can go to his January 28th, which is yesterday. So it's a very current and updated list. And I can go to see what has done well. So on the meme coin recap list from the 28th, he said lower volume compared to other days this week, but there's still money to be made. The Bad Baby hit 8.9 million because Bad Barbie launched the coin. And she launched the coin on a very bad day. And it still did really good. VVV hit 664. It was listed on Coinbase. It's an AI coin. So AI meta is still very strong. DeepSeek meta, as I was talking to you guys about before, is doing very strong. We had Seek hit 56 million, DeepSeek hit 14.6, MPUP 10.9, DeepBreak 2.8, and Deep Guy 1.9. So DeepSeek meta did go strong. There was always some Trump and Elon meta that seems to be like a permanent constant in our space. So there was some AI runners, of course. Arc hit 383. And then we had some Shiba stuff. There was some Shiba on Sol, weird stuff going on. Not sure what was going on. I think there was a tweet that got deleted. And basically just start digging into this every single day and ask yourself, what's the similarities to these coins? What's making these things send? Why did it send? You can start looking at the context of that too. Like, for instance, he does a good enough job to add the tickers here. So if we look at Bad, we can go to Bad. We can see the top posts on this. So we could see what was the top posts about this. How relevant is it? What were people saying? You can go to latest to see how relevant people are people still even talking about it now. And you can start looking at all this information and start building a database in your mind. Okay, what's good? Why did people buy it? What's the sentiment publicly about this kind of coin? And how can I kind of detect that as something new early so I can get in and make the money that I want to make? I'm going to take a quick break to buy a coin. Someone sent a coin in my alpha chat. It's from 2 months ago and I don't know what it is. It's probably just some bullshit I shouldn't have bought. Oh, bro, this is some weird ass shit from a while ago. Cool. So we're gonna go back into a deep dive. So once you start understanding meta, now you have to ask yourself, okay, so I understand what metas are, but I need to be able to detect them and act on them quickly. And how can I properly develop the skill to act on this every single day consistently? Again, some days are easier than others. That's why they do say sometimes in a good market that it's easy mode, because sometimes there's a very easy understood meta, and all the derivatives and coins that people are gambling on are very easy to understand. And in cases like that, it's very crucial that you take advantage of that high volume and that easy to understand meta, and you're sniping new pairs consistently during that rush, whether or not it's like an hour or two, whether it's a day, however long. You need to make sure that you're really diving into that as if that's a gold rush scenario and you want to get a little bit of the gold. That being said, there is a lot of the time in the market where it's not so easy to understand what is the good meta, what should I be gambling on, how should I be going about new pairs? And that's when you have to get a little bit more gambly if you do want to be trying to snipe new pairs. You can always gamble on really funny memes. There's always a chance it goes to 30 to 40k, sometimes bonds. You can always try to take a look at, okay, is this something that hasn't been done before that's interesting? Is this something that hasn't been done before that is unique and allows me to feel like there might be some sort of market drive at some point in it? Any sort of narrative like that, you just want to keep your eyes on. So how do I get into a coin quickly, and how do I get out of a coin quickly? Well, you're going to want to sign up for Nova. If you don't know what Nova is a Telegram bot that was invented by traders for traders. And what it allows you to do is have much faster entrances and exits to coins than you would with the typical trading software such as Bullex and Photon. And the cool thing about it is that they have an extension that lets you use Neo with Nova so that you can buy and sell quickly. So let's go to a coin. I just sniped this coin Loonchi, and I'm going to press sell immediately the second that the buy goes through. And I'm already out of the coin. I was in and out of the coin so fast that I basically mebbed that guy. Now, you ask yourself, how would this look if I did it with regular Bullex? I don't even want to lose money and show you. But if I went to go buy and sell quickly with regular Bullex with the same fee settings, it would be significantly slower. You'd be waiting a couple of seconds for the buy and a couple seconds for the sell, and it would not be good. And then if you take into account high volume moments, like when the market's really hot and there's a lot of people trading, then Bullex and Photon gets even worse, and the detrimental or the downgrade in service on executions becomes very, 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 like, it's a huge effect on the profit that you're making every day. My recommended fees, Jowl, to answer a question asked in chat, it depends on your port size. For me, I have a, I wouldn't say like huge port size, but it's a significant port size. And so I typically keep my fees at 0.025 minimum with an auto tip of up to 0.06. I know that seems a little high, and maybe it is, but I like my buys and sells to be completely instant. And that's just what I found works with my port sizes and what I feel comfortable trading. I'm sure you could lower it and get still instant fills if you just tinker with it a little bit, especially on days where there's less volume. I'm just a little bit less like willing to do that, and I just want it to get in every time, and I don't want to worry about it, so I have a good auto tip feed to allow for that. So you have the ability to buy fast and sell fast now with Nova. You started studying narratives a little bit, so now you're starting to figure out what coins have been sending, what's good. Now you know how to get in and get out fast. So now you have to ask yourself, how much money do you have to trade with, and how much should you be entering these coins with? So there's actually a rule of thumb to stick by when you're sniping new pairs. Regardless of how much money you have, you can only buy so much of these coins before you own too much percentage of the coin. Now, of course, there's workarounds, like you could do multi-wallet, stuff like that. I don't suggest multi-wallet trading, not anywhere until you're a good trader and you know exactly what you're buying and why, because it doubles up your fees, and people can easily detect when you buy with multi-wallets and it looks bundled the coin. And so you actually do kind of make the coin look a little bearish when you do that. However, it just depends on the coin and the narrative. Multi-wallets can be extremely lucrative if you know what you're doing. Now, what do I mean by there's rules of thumb for sniping new pairs? Well, when you buy a new pair and it's at 5 or 6k, you're going to end up owning a significant amount of the shares of the coin. I think the math around it is if you buy a coin and you're like the first person to buy, I think around 1.5 to 1.75 SOL gives you around 5% of the coin. Anything more than 5% on one wallet is going to be extremely bearish for any coin that you're in. You're really not going to want to have that, because it's just going to make people very reluctant to purchase that coin on top of you. And it could even lead to people just making another coin about the same thing, and everybody's going to that one simply because you just took that one hostage with too large of a percent. So rule of thumb, around 1 to 1.5 to 2 SOL max. If you're a smart wallet and you're tracked and people are watching you, you can probably get away with maybe 5 or 6, maybe 7%. I have seen trench grinders do it. I've seen notable wallets do it. I don't like to do it. I stay away from it. I think it's a little greedy. I think it makes the coin bearish. You probably want to stay under 5%. So you buy a coin and you get 5% of it. I'm going to buy something random. Hopefully I don't get fucking rinsed. I'm going to try to find something random that doesn't fucking rinse me. So I bought this Bob coin. Hopefully I don't get rinsed. So I'm in this Bob coin, and as you can see, I was one of the first people to buy. So I have a quick buy set on my Nova. My quick buy on Nova is set to 1.75. Like I said, I'm a tracked wallet, so I can kind of get away with a little bit more supply. So I do 1.75, sometimes 2, but 1.5 is totally fine. You can even do 1 SOL or 1.25 if you want to spend a little bit less money. But that gives you around 3 to 5% of the coin. And by having that, you essentially put yourself in a position where you have a lot of upside in this coin, and not a lot of downside. As you can see, I'm in the coin at 8K. And there's not a lot of holders holding any significant amount of this coin. If everybody sells this coin after me, I'm only going to be down 10%, maybe 15% max, probably around 10% of my investment, which is not that serious and not that stressful for me if I'm going into a trade and taking a loss. The other alternative is that I don't even sell for a loss. I sell for break even because one person didn't sell and I get out of the coin with no risk, and I just got a free chance at making good money. But then the other scenarios that can happen is this could go to 20K or 30K and then it starts dying, but you got in at 8K, so you just 3x'd. That's insane. That doesn't take a lot of people. That doesn't take a lot of money. So if you get into a coin early and you get up to 30K and you don't even think the narrative is that good, you were just gambling, you just one clip it like Colonel said. Fuck that shit. If you don't like it, just make your money. Now, you could fumble and it could send after that. So you just want to be careful when you're one clipping, and like really it's better to trim on your way up. Trimming also makes the chart look better. You know, the reason it could be stuck at 30K is simply because you're holding 5%. You know, if you sell 1% of the coin, people might be like, oh, distro's better, and it might go to 40, 50K, right? And then you make more money. So you want to be very careful of how much percent of a coin that you hold, and you want to be paying attention to that. But there's also the other scenario. This thing fucking sends. You buy at 8K and it just bonds in your face. Well, now you're up a couple $1,000s, but it's stuck in bonding. So now you have to ask yourself, okay, do I wait till it bonds? Is it going to send? What if it dumps after bond? Well, this is where experience starts to come in, because there's certain wallets that are known for bonding coins and then min-teching it. And in those cases, you're never going to be able to use Nova to sell first before them, and you might as well just kind of play it by ear, unless it's just not a good coin and you just have to sell it with Nova. But you're never going to be able to beat them in fees to get out. But then there's coins where that's not the case and it was naturally bonded, and then you can probably min-tech it with Nova if you want, or you can just pull like 50% or whatever. And there's a lot of options to guarantee that profit. To answer the question that was just asked in chat, can you explain what bonding is? Simply, to put bonding in an easy way, every coin that we're gambling on and we're trading on is made from pump fund. When the value of that coin gets to a certain percentage, to a certain threshold, it freezes the coin for a couple minutes. No one can buy it, no one can sell it, and it lists it on all the other platforms that are much bigger than pump fund, so that other liquidity and new people that can come into the market that wouldn't be trading it on pump fund. When that happens, the coin can either go straight to zero or it can send. It really just depends on the coin. A lot of the time they go to zero. I would say most of the time they go to zero. To answer another question, off topic, what is bundled? Bundled is simply when one person is manipulating a chart by having more percentage than you can tell because he bought on multi wallets. So he can manipulate the chart and make it look like it's going up, but it's just him buying on a lot of wallets. That's what bundling would mean. And the danger in bundles is, like, you could think a coin has 5,000 holders and it's at 2 mil, but if he bundled 500K, he can one clip the chart and you're down 40% with one person's trade. So it's very scary, and you just always want to be aware of some of the stuff that you can see. You can see it on chain. Can you see what my fees are? Actually, all my fee settings are listed on my YouTube. If you check my YouTube out, exclamation point turf in the potion chat, you can go ahead and get a video with those fee settings that I highly recommend you do that. Going into it, so we went over understanding narrative. We went over how to buy and sell fast with Nova. We went over how much percentage of a wallet can you own, how much can you buy of a new pair. So really now what's going to come down to is how fast are you at making the decision, I want something, and how critical are you on what you're buying. If you sit here and you wait and you watch, you will see things that are good, but don't force it, because you don't need to be forcing things on days that the volume isn't that good. Now when the volume is crazy, then you can get a little forcey and you'll probably have some success, but be very critical on what you're buying and why, for the most part, because it's very easy to get rinsed, and you're playing a very dangerous game buying new pairs if you're just buying new pairs to buy new pairs, as opposed to buying new pairs that you think have an opportunity to do well. So it's just all about paying attention to, you know, what the narrative is, what people are buying, learning over time. Okay, when something is like this and I see these kind of signs, that's bullish. Usually when something does that, it goes X amount. Usually when I see these things in this pattern, it means that this could potentially happen. And then you start building all these different gauges and measurement systems in your mind of, I like this narrative, this coin's good, it's at this price, these smart wallets are it in, I want to risk 5 SOL at this price, and I want to exit here. And if it doesn't get to here, I'm okay pulling profit here, here, here if the chart starts moving down. Like, you come up with all these things in your head, and you start getting better, and you start getting more comfortable, and you start understanding narratives. And when you start winning, you start stacking experience and confidence from those wins. Just as when you lose, it's like I touched the stove and I just burnt my hand. I know not to do that anymore. And so All these little things add up to you becoming a really good trader, and then you'll realize that unlike poker and unlike other gambling, you have a lot of tools in this. You have a lot more tools than in the casino. You have a lot more information sources and a lot more people to bounce things off of, and a lot more profit opportunity and risk management that you can do in this than you can do in any sort of gambling. So you can become a great trader and be green every single day. You can make tons of money, but you just need to take some time, learn, research, figure everything out that's going on in space, understand the behavior, understand the patterns. It's a psychology thing. And what it break it down to its simplest way is that you're trying to buy something that people want before they know they want it. That's it for the Terp Talk. For those who ask, man, this should have been recorded. It is recorded, and it will be my next video. So I hope you guys enjoyed, and I will be posting this on my YouTube very shortly. So I hope this helps you guys out. I just wanted to drop a quick tutorial going over some stuff about where my head's at and how some of you new guys can start learning to do some of the stuff that I do. Now, one other thing that I forgot to mention earlier is that there is a way to trade that isn't new pairs, but that's kind of unlocked as you get a bigger wallet. You know, I would say that in the new economy for memes, it's pretty easy to catch a coin that's going to go to 7 mil, 5 mil, at 1 mil if you're tracking big wallets like Booga and all these other guys. And if you have a wallet size, you could throw, 20 to 50 SOL on that and make a very not too risky as opposed to like how long you're holding the coin and what the chart looks like, and make 10, 20, 30 SOL just scalping like that. And that you can unlock that as you become a more experienced trader, but you need to take your time and get there. I'm also going to be including an entire wallet list of every wallet that I personally track in the description below. You can easily import this wallet tracker into your Neo with a simple click. You paste it here, and it's going to give you every wallet that I have with all of the emojis and everything. And all you have to do is click the alert button here, and they will show up here. However, I only like to use the wallet tracker on Neo to show people on the chart. I do prefer using the Potion wallet tracker to see things faster, since it is a bit faster. And I'll use the Potion wallet tracker to see what people are buying, and then I use the wallet tracker built into Neo to watch it on the chart. That's my personal preference. I prefer that. And for anybody who's new to trading, if you're trying to trade alone and you're trying to trade without a small group, I would highly recommend you join something like Potion or maybe like Shockter, one of these alpha groups that can get you plugged in on what people are doing every single day, what kind of tools we're doing, what people are looking at, because you need to understand the culture. You need to be locked in with a group of people as your support group to find things and trade things. A lot of coins come off fast. It's impossible to catch them all. You're going to want to have some help, and I think joining a group like Potion or joining a group like Shocked is that next step in saying, I want to take trading seriously. I want to have access to that information and these tools because I think I can make a career out of this. I would recommend it. That being said, thank you guys so much for coming down to check out this video. I hope this helped you out in some sort of way, and I appreciate you guys for spending some time with me today. I'll be back with some more videos soon. A little sneak peek on one of my next videos. I will be doing a meme coin checklist with Melometrics at some point. We're going to record that. It's taking some time. We're very busy, but just keep your eyes open for that. That's probably going to be the next video or the next couple videos. All right, guys, Terp out. Have a great rest of your day. Love you.